Well, I hope everyone's doing really well out there because this show is not a good evening here in the southwest part of Sacramento. Welcome to another episode of On the Cutting Room Floor, presented by Publicity Agents. I'm the host, Tony Harvey, and you know why I'm here, and you know what we're about to talk about, so let's get to it. Let's get into it. Sacramento Kings lose tonight to the Oklahoma City Thunder at pay.com or Paycom or whatever it is, Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. 112 to 105. The Kings had a 20-point lead in the first half, and that third quarter caught up with them again. Okay, so here I am again. Now the Sacramento Kings, you're going to have to deal with the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers, who are playing each other right now. And you have 3 games left. 3 games left. And I believe for the first time this season, I'm going to have to check it, but I probably won't be able to note it until the next time I make a report. The Kings come back to Golden One Center to play the New Orleans Pelicans this Thursday, and it's a back-to-back because they play Phoenix on Friday. They came back from this 4-game road trip, 1-3. That may be the first time they came back from a road trip under 500. I'll have to check. And if I'm not mistaken, that might be the first time out of these road game packages. So that how they end their regular season road season, 22 and 19. And the only significant win, if you want to call it that, was the Brooklyn Nets the other night, which they beat by 30 points. 1-3. 3 games left. 3-game homestand. Okay? And we already talked about this, that this little period right here, I'm not talking about the Portland Trail Blazers, that you will have to play 3 postseason teams. That, as Mark Jones had to emphasize, are ahead of you. Oklahoma City was tonight. New Orleans, who are currently in 6th place. 7th place. And hold the season series against you. And Phoenix on Friday. And Phoenix, Phoenix was getting whopped. Phoenix was getting whopped by the Clippers. Talk about that a little bit later too. That game probably should be going into the third quarter right about now. But yes, the Sacramento Kings, the Golden State Warriors, and the Los Angeles Lakers, okay, they went from your back porch to standing in your kitchen. Now they're in the living room where they've been at some time. They may be able to sit down on your couch and kick their feet up. Now you may not have to meet them in the play-in or anything like that. This still has to be determined. But everything's so jumbled right now, and the Warriors, the Warriors, oh my gosh, what the Warriors do? The Warriors were beating the Lakers. Okay, we'll get into that too. Anyway. Oh boy. But yeah, it's pretty heartbreaking. I really thought that they could come back with at least a 500 record. At least I was hoping. And they looked like they really wanted to get this win. And they looked at flawless in the first half, especially with those flurry of threes in the first quarter. They hit 14 threes in the first quarter. Well, 14 for 29 in the first half, the Sacramento Kings that I'm talking about. Okay. De'Aaron and Keon, they had Well, De'Aaron and Keon had 21 and 20 points respectively in the first half. They were on fire. They're on fire. But that 20-point lead that they had in the first half dissipated in the third quarter. And it blended on into the fourth quarter. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, he was the man. He was the man. He had some help from his supporting cast, but you could tell, when a team is playing like that, the way they were tonight, okay, because there were some miscues by the officials. I'll get into that too. When a team like Oklahoma City is playing like that, they're basically saying, we haven't won anything yet. So we need to keep our foot down on this pedal and keep going. Because we haven't won anything yet. That's what Oklahoma City is saying. We haven't did anything yet. They have a nice little record. Okay, they are 54-25 on the season, 30-8 at home. 30-8 at home at Paycom Center. These young people are telling you we haven't did anything yet. So we're going to keep the medal on. They did not give up. Okay, and the Kings did play excellent defense in that first half. They did. Okay, I was more impressed with the defense than I was the offense. And the offense, I'm telling you, it was flawless. Okay, I'm telling you, 14 for 29 shooting, from 3-point territory. That's great. That's great. That's what the 50. Oh boy, what was that? The first half. It was about 50%. Yeah. Excuse me. They were 14 for 31 shooting in 3-point territory in the first half for 45%. Man, they just look so good when they're shooting their threes and they're making their threes. But as Coach Brown said in the post-game interview after the game, they went away from the formula that was working so well. People was passing up shots. I mean, he had to pull Harrison Barnes out the game, early in the third quarter because he passed up a shot. And Oklahoma City was getting started, rolling. They were down by 19 points at the half. They hit a free throw after the 20-point spread that the Kings had. And at halftime, it was 64-45. That is a sign of a young team that knows what's happening here. Okay? They're trying to do something here. And so I'm giving Oklahoma City head coach Mark Daigneault a lot of credit here. A lot of accolades here. He hasn't did anything yet either. Okay, but he's telling these guys, hey, you want to be great, this is what you have to do. Because they dropped the first two games against the Kings this season. And they done won the last two at home. And they're young. They're young. And they got one of the best players in the NBA right now. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's averaging over 30 points a game. He had 40 tonight. He had 40 points tonight. And he willed in that win without a doubt. Without a doubt. Okay? I'm not worried about the Kings, okay? They sealed a play-in, at least a play-in spot, for postseason. But that sixth place that they were working to get, you have to earn it. That is disappearing quickly. Because you're in an A spot right now. Okay, if somehow the Lakers, win tonight, there'll be a half game over you. I think that after tonight, they only have like 2 games left in the season themselves, and the Kings have 3 games left. So, oh boy, man. De'Aaron Fox had 33 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals in 42 minutes. He was 12 for 29 shooting from the field, 7 for 17 shooting threes tonight, 2 for 4 from the free throw line. So, him taking 29 shots, you got it. He knows it, okay? He knows you got to take those shots. He's been averaging about 29 points these last 3 or 4 games, 29 shots these last 3 or 4 games on a road trip. Anyway, maybe more than that. And 42 minutes, I'm okay with that too. You're missing Kevin Huerter. You're missing super reserve Malik Monk. Take those shots. Take those shots. Started off great. I mean, he had 21 points in the first half. But, you're going to need some help from your team. Keon Ellis, 26 points. Got to be a season high. 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks. He did that in 35 minutes. 9 for 17 shooting from the floor. Made 8 threes. He was out of 15 attempts. 3-point territory. He did not go to the free throw line. But I'm glad he's taking those shots. And I'm sure that Mike Brown and his coaching staff are encouraging him to take those shots. Especially, when you have some heavy hitters, out of the lineup that are known, to knock down some shots when need be and score at a high clip when they can. Are sidelined right now. Domantas Sabonis, 8 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 turnovers, 1 steal. So tonight is the 61st double-double streak. It ends tonight in the 62nd game. So he had 61 straight double-doubles. And it ends tonight with the 8 points and the 13 rebounds. He only took 7 shots tonight, folks, from the field. He made 2. 4 for 7 from the free throw line. 4 for 7 from the free throw. I still want you to make those free throws. He's been shooting about 75%, in the last couple of months. But he was 4 for 7 tonight. Definitely could have made a difference. Keegan Murray, 15 points, 10 rebounds, made 3 3-pointers. He was 5 for 16 shooting from the floor. He made both his free throws. Both his free throws. Okay. HB, Harrison Barnes, 1 for 8 shooting from the floor, 0 for 4 3-point land. He did end up with 10 points. I think he went to the line 10 times, the free throw line, that is. That's where he got most of the shots. He had 6 rebounds, 1 steal in 26 minutes. But at the start of the third quarter, Oklahoma City came out on an 11-2 run. 11-2 run. And it was one point where Harrison Barnes was wide open for 3. And he did not take that shot. He did not take that shot. Mike Brown calls a timeout. He said Harrison Barnes down. The Kings, after the game resumes, make the next 3 3-pointers. They're going a 9-0 run. When Harrison had to take a breather. After the game, Brown pretty much explained himself. Of course, he didn't call out any names, but we know who he was talking about. Okay? When the basketball guys, they're going to make it hard on you if you don't take those wide open 3-point shots in the NBA. He wants you to take those. Hey, when that ball is being sprayed out there, you got to take that shot. You got to take that shot. He had been playing well up until this moment. These last couple games. I mean, the last game he was 1 for 4 shooting from the field. He was 0 for 4 shooting from 3-point line. 0 for 2, something like that. He didn't play that much anyway because most of those minutes went to Kobe Jones, and Kobe Jones did play again tonight. I'm glad to see that he's getting some ticks out there, on the floor. You're going to need him. He's inexperienced. He showed that a couple times the other night and tonight. But I still think he's serviceable, right now on both ends of the floor. And HB, he's a veteran. He's a professional, up and down, left and right. Look forward to him bouncing back for this next three-game homestand that ends the regular season. Okay, Davion Mitchell, 8 points, 1 assist, 21 minutes. Trey Lyles, he only had 3 points, but he pulled out 7 rebounds, and I like that. He had 2 steals in 22 minutes. Okay, the Kings, 33 for 96 shooting from the field, 34%. 20 of 58 shooting in 3-point territory for 34%. So out of 58 attempts, they knocked down 20 of them, but 14 was in the first half. So they only made 6 in the second half. The 58 attempts, I believe that is a franchise high, or it's at least a season high. I know. I'll leave it at that. They pulled down 57 rebounds, okay? 21 on the offensive end. But they had 17 turnovers. 17 turnovers. It was just a lot of times when there was a couple offensive series, when they were getting up shots and they were getting 3 and 4 attempts and couldn't knock them down. Eventually, Oklahoma City, recovered and got it. Most likely went down the court and scored. That happened like 2 or 3 times during the game. Okay, they got like 3 or 4 shots. Couldn't make the bucket. Yeah. So Sacramento Kings are 45 and 34 on the season, 22 and 19 on the road. So that ends the road games. You have 3 more games at home. So they still can get to 48. They can match their season high in wins from the previous season. Let's see what that happens. But you're going to have to start with the New Orleans Pelicans, who have beaten the Kings already 3 times this season. 3 times, including a play-in in-season game, which the Kings lost that too. Okay, yeah. Really do have a lot of things to say about this. This loss. I pretty much was firm few games about this play-in situation, but I always like to be proven wrong when it comes to this. Prove me wrong. And you still can prove me wrong by you still win these last 3 games. But the way they came out in this first half, okay, I was okay with that, but I'm always worried about the third quarter when they do that. And that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. Because in that third quarter, Oklahoma City outscored the Kings 39-23. 39-23. That is a team, a young team, that's telling you we have not did anything yet. We haven't won anything yet. We are on a mission to get there. We haven't did anything yet. Okay, we'll spot you those 20 points in the first half. But we coming for you. We're coming for you. SG coming down there. He's touching the paint every trip that he's going. You know he's going to do this. Okay, he turned the ball over a lot because his usage rate got to be pretty high. I understand that, but he still did not stop attacking that basket. And the game was tied at 105-105 in the fourth frame, and I think it was Davion Mitchell was covering. He made a crazy shot. He actually traveled. That ticked me off too. But he made it. It was a 3-pointer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. He made it. He made the shot. It was crazy. Soft kill, unbalanced. He traveled, but he made it. That really ticked me off because, these clowns, these officials, didn't see it, so they didn't call it. But when you really look at it, you can't really blame it on them. Okay, they missed the call. Okay, the clowns missed the call. They missed the call. But the problem was you had a 20-point lead in the first half. Okay, you came back in the fourth quarter. You was going back and forth after you lost the lead. You regained the lead a couple times, and you still lost the game. So I put it more on those situations, those scenarios, than what the officials did. Because Mike Bibby, who was in the studio with Kyle Draper, was right. Most likely those games are not going to end on a call like that. You're not going to get a call like that. The same way with the game with the Boston Celtics when Kobe Jones, got slapped in the face at the end of the game when he should have been called a foul there and he should have been at the free throw line. But that game was so physical. The Kings was doing some fouling too. Have to admit that too. So I understand. The game's not going to end that way. Matter of fact, when the game was tied at 105, let's see, what was it? It was 105, 104. SGA, he makes 1 or 2 free throws. They go down. Kings miss. They get SGA in Oklahoma City. They get another opportunity, and then that's when he hit this crazy shot. The Kings didn't make another bucket from there. That was it. So Oklahoma City scored the last 7 points to win that game. Yeah. And I'm telling you, like, because when they went on that 24-7 run at the beginning of the third quarter, let's see. Yes. Okay. So they open up. Oklahoma City goes on a 24-7 run, and they cut the Kings lead 71-69 on a bucket by SGA. So they're trailing by 2 points. Okay, Mike Brown calls timeout. That was earlier that I talked about. But here's the thing, okay? After Mike Brown called that timeout and the Kings went on that 9.0 run, okay, Oklahoma surged back. They outscored the Kings 12-7 to end the third quarter. So they're trailing 87-84. But this is pretty interesting to me because I'm watching the body language of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Keon Ellis goes for a three-pointer at the buzzer, and SGA just, boom, blocks it. And then he walks off the court like this, that hulkish. Once you see something like that, oh, it's on. It's on. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was ready to go after he got that block to start the fourth quarter. That's scary. That's scary. This is a young team that's showing you that they haven't did anything. We haven't won anything. So let us show you what we're doing on our journey, Sacramento Kings. This is our mission. Because SGA was most likely was not going to play tonight, as well was Jalen Williams. They both played tonight. They wanted that game. Because they haven't did anything. They haven't won anything. And I'm not just talking about this game. I'm talking about what they're trying to do this season. They're on a mission to get somewhere. Championship. NBA title. That's where it starts. That's where it starts. They're trying to show themselves that they can do it. And they haven't did anything yet. Until they get there, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. And that's how they played in that second half. So SGA had 40 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. He was 11 for 22 shooting from the floor. He made 2 3-pointers, 2 assists, 2 blocks. He played 37 minutes. He was 16 for 20 from the free throw line. Yeah. I think he's one of the number one athletes in the NBA who gets to the free throw line a lot. Okay. Lou Dort, 18 points, 2 rebounds, 6 for 11 shooting from the field, made 3 3-pointers. That cat can play he can just flat out play some defense. See, that's another reason. Oklahoma City, they got some great defensive play. I mean, SGA himself is averaging around 2 steals a game himself. And they just have some excellent defensive players. They got Chet Holmgren in the middle. He had a couple blocks that stopped some things, stopped the run. I know one of them was Davion Mitchell in the fourth quarter. When the Kings tried to make that run to get back and win the game. Swat. Jalen Williams didn't have a great game. As I said, I think he was one of the ones who was questionable about this game, but he played. He had 11 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. Chet Holmgren, 15 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. 2 blocks. Got defense written all over. He's a two-way player. I'm give it to him. I know he's considered a rookie, but this is a cat who's going to get better. So he's playing with a really good team, and they have a really good coaching staff, as you can see. Isaiah Joe, who used to be with the 76ers. He's been playing with the Oklahoma City Thunder for the last couple of seasons. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, made 2 3-pointers himself, had 2 steals. Okay. Aaron Wiggins, come off the bench, 7 points, but he made a couple, standout baskets. And so did Casey Waller. He hit 1 3 2 from the corner. Oh my God. And then Jalen Williams. Yeah, 4 points. Now, they don't really show up in the stats, in the stat line, but they made some significant contribution for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So family, Sacramento Kings spectators from the city of trees. There's 3 games left, and we will see what happens from there. The Kings play the New Orleans Pelicans this Thursday, April 11th. Golden One Center, G1C, and the next night they will have the Phoenix Suns. Friday, April 12th. Let's see, 10, 11. Oh my gosh, man! Today is the 9th, April 9th. I'm sorry. So they will be at Golden One Center April the 11th, and then April 12th, right? They'll play the Phoenix Suns. The last game will be the Portland Trail Blazers on Sunday, April 14th. Wow, season almost over, but it's not over. Whatever happens from here, the first play-in game is next Tuesday, okay? And the first playoff game would start April 20th. I think that's how it's done. Or April 25th. Have to check on that. So disregard that information. But first things first is the play-in, which start Tuesday for the East and Western Conference. I really want them to get that win. I understand how these things go. The Kings has had a bumpy ride all season. A lot of them they did to themselves. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Okay. They have did it to themselves, with some really bad losses and some really bad stretches. Then also have to mix in that these injuries kind of like done them in as well. Period. These injuries had a lot of play in it. Whereas last season injuries was not really a factor because they were healthy, 90% of the season. But now we know what happens when, you're trying to make that playoff run and injuries play a big factor in what's happening, because there's no doubt about it that they could use somebody like a Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk. And I heard some other things too about Malik Monk feeling a little bit better, with that MCL sprain. Okay, that's a ligament, around the knee area. And the Kings never really declared what type of injury. We know what the injury is, but we didn't know how severe the injury is. I mean, if it's a grade 1, okay, you can rest that MCL up for a few days, maybe a week, and that person can come back on the floor. But they said 4 to 6 weeks. But they never said what grade it was, a grade 1 or a grade 2. They never said that. But now we're hearing that, Monk is feeling better, and that's it. He's feeling better, which is an indication that maybe he is ready to come back at some point. Okay, I was just hoping that, if these Kings can win a few stretches of these games, that they definitely didn't need him for the rest of the regular season. Okay, and you could possibly use him for the playoffs. But I do trust this medical staff as the previous one. And they have been, on the money as figuring out, diagnosing and projecting, when these players can return to the floor. So we'll see with that. And we're talking what they call it, a medial collateral ligament, MCL. And I think that's in his right leg. So let's just see what happens from there. Maybe we will see him before the season out. I know he want to get back on that floor, and he will definitely be a big help. They need his service. That's one thing, okay? Because Kevin, he's definitely done for the season, but hopefully we will see a return from Malik Monk. So see what happened there. So, okay, once again, the Kings fall 112-105 to Oklahoma City Oklahoma City Thunder in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. They come back from a 4-game road trip, 1-3, and they will face the New Orleans Pelicans this Thursday. Okay, and before I let you go, thanks for tuning in. Okay, if the play-in did start today, they would have to play the New Orleans Pelicans. Okay, so right now Dallas is comfortably in 5th place with 49 wins against 30 losses. Look like we're going to have at least 5 teams with 50 or more wins in the Western Conference. Phoenix 46-32. They was having a little trouble tonight with the Clippers. It was 64-27 in the second quarter that I last checked, but I'm pretty sure that game is pretty much getting close to being over. New Orleans 46-32. And they were down 55-50 to the Trailblazers. I think that was the first or second half. As we know, the Kings lost to Oklahoma City. And the Golden State Warriors were beating the LA Lakers 71-57. And the Lakers are currently in the 9th spot, and the Warriors are in that 10th spot. Okay, the Lakers currently have a 45-34 record alongside Sacramento Kings, and the Warriors are 43-35 at this point. Woo, boy. We knew it was going to come down to this anyway, coming down to the end of the season. So it's not over with yet. Let's just say that. 5 minutes overtime. Do want to thank you for tuning in for another episode of On the Cutting Room Floor, presented by Publicity Agents. I'm your host, Tony Harvey. I will be back at some point. Normally I do these digital commentaries after every road game, but I'm sure to start, doing some fillers in between now and when the play-in series start next week. So I'm solidly up in the Kings' hands now. I mean, it's pretty much been said. I think Kyle mentioned it too You got to win every one of these games now. All three of them. All three of them. Not just one, not just two, all three of them, starting with the Pelicans. So let's see what happens, family. Sacramento Kings fans. Let's see what happens. I'm not giving up on the Kings, and neither should you. Let's just say that. But I do want to thank you for tuning in. Everybody have a great evening, what's left of it. And Tony Ray Harvey will see you soon. Love, peace, and solidarity.